Okay, and we are back for the final day of Astro season, and we're just going to jump right into the match. I'm going to use my rematches that are available, and we are going to uh, go up against Artie, and I'm going to cut here and come back when I have a suitable strategy in place. Okay, so after taking a look at this map, it appears that my best bet would most likely be my Sophia and Faye combo, because this that team is usually a fairly good counter for Cav lines, which this seems to be. It's like a partial Cav line with a peony and a bonus unit Crom. There's also the bonus unit in Rolf, but I believe Sophia can handle him no problem. So as much as I would like to keep my Sophia and Faye together, I feel like it would be more optimal for me to split them up so that Faye can handle the Reinhardt and Sophia can handle the Leaf and the Rolf. Faye may also take on the Lin, but I'm not too certain at the start of the match yet. We'll see how much damage Faye takes and go from there. So I believe I am going to keep my Altina and Naga within these two spaces because those spaces aren't targeted before the map gets activated, and my tactics room does hit both the peony and the Crom, so Crom doesn't get as much initial movement out of his to change fate as he normally would, so that works out in my favor, I believe. But we'll see, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my Sophia and Faye team. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set up now. I want to keep my Faye over here. Well, I suppose it doesn't actually hurt to have Altina try and take on Rolf or Leaf. Let me just calculate how much damage they can do. Leaf will have... well, let's see. Altina will actually get debuffed by the Flyer School, which puts her at 48, and since she's likely going to be next to Sophia, she won't be able to activate Asher's Chosen. She will have Attack Defense Oath, which puts her back up to 53, and so Leaf is the one with the less bulk among the two. So I think Altina might have a better shot against Leaf. Leaf will have 59 attack, Altina will have 36 defense, so 59 minus 36 would be 23, so that's 23 per hit, which is 46 HP, which Altina should be able to tank just fine. With 53 attack, Altina should be able to do 23 per hit, which is 46. So Altina has a better matchup against Leaf, I believe, than she does against Rolf, because with 53 attack, that would be 19 per hit, and that wouldn't be enough to take out the Rolf. Sophia, under normal circumstances, wouldn't be able to take out this Rolf in one hit either, but she does have a special cooldown charge thanks to Infantry Pulse. So upon getting hit once, Sophia can get a Glimmer off, and that should be enough to seal the deal against the Rolf. So a little bit of change of plans than initially planned would be to actually have Sharena and Naga initially sit this one out, and have Altina and Sophia do most of the dirty work on the right side, Faye handling the Reinhardt on the left. And I suppose I should actually calculate how much damage Reinhardt will do to my Faye. So Reinhardt will have 55 disadvantage, we put him at 44, and so he will do 5 damage per hit, which is 10, and then Faye will take recoil damage, which is 16, which puts her down to 51. Is there anything that afflicts her? Dark Shrine should affect my Sophia. there doesn't seem to be anything else that drastically targets phase stats. Chill defense and chill res would actually also affect Sophia. Chill attack would also affect Sophia, so I think in the future I'm going to have to figure out something where some other teammate can soak the debuffs, but with Glimmer, Sophia should be able to take out that Rolf just fine. It doesn't look like there are other substantial debuffs aside from perhaps Chill Speed, which actually hits both my Fae and Sharena, which is a little unfortunate. So it looks like it would be kind of ill-advised for me to try and tank a hit against Lyn with my Fae. However, Lyn would get +4 to her attack, +8, so that would put her at 56. 56 minus 38, that would be 18 per hit. So if I let Sharena take a hit from Lyn and break this, Sharena could actually take out Lyn the following turn, so that might be something that I could do. So we're actually going to bait all 4 of the cavalry units on the first turn, and we're going to go from there. I'm not entirely certain where I would want to place my Naga, but I do want to take into consideration how I would handle that Kron, because he could pose to be a huge threat later on. Especially since I have my 2 reds concentrated on the right side of the map. Faye, who could potentially be the lone counter, is sitting on the left side, so perhaps having Naga next to Faye would enable Naga to smite Faye over afterwards and be able to draw some fire from the Crom. But we'll see how that works out. Okay, so first things first would be to... Actually, I have to decide whether or not I want to destroy both structures and how I would go about doing so. So... I believe just destroying these 2 should be fine for now, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And end turn. Should be as simple as that, to be honest. Okay. Everybody's pretty much running to their deaths, just as planned, and because they have restricted movement, they don't go as far as they potentially could. I do see a little bit of an issue here, though, in the fact that Crom hasn't actually used his 2-change fate yet, and so he's still behind the Peony, which is a little scary, to be honest, but I think once I get rid of this Lyn, Gale Force is in order. Let's get her to attack again. I could bait this Peony, actually, first with my Fae, and finish the job from there, though I do want to see how much damage my Fae could do to this Crom and vice versa. So this Crom will have 64 attack. Oh, that's only if my HP is 100% at the start of combat. which isn't the case, so he will have 57 attack, but will treat me as if I have -9 attack and defense. So, thanks to... hold on, why am I being debuffed for attack and speed here? That's strange. Shouldn't my Sophia be getting... Oh, okay, Faye got attack smoked, right, from the Braveling. Okay, so after I clear that, Faye will have 58, but gets treated as if she has -9. So that'll put her at 49. 4.9 times 2, that's 9, so 58. Faye will have 58 attack, and attack into 29 res, so that would be 30 damage. So, with advantage, Faye could initiate first, take a hit from Chrom, and in the enemy phase, Chrom would attack into Faye, and oh, wait, I just noticed that Chrom had Hardy Bearing, so that's a bit troublesome, isn't it?
You have my trust.
So how would I go about doing this? This Chrom with the plus speed and bonus stats is actually really janky and screwing up my strategy here. Is Faye in Brazen range right now? 80%, 6.7 times 2, so that's 13, 14. So that would require Faye to be 53 HP and below, so she actually is in Brazen range at the moment. The -7 is coming from Chill Speed, which is no longer present on the map, so that would put her at 43 speed, potentially 44 or 45 if she has ally support from Sophia. And that would actually enable Faye to double Chrom, and that actually does work out. So now I just need to find a way to secure the pots. I can easily bait this Peony with my Altina, and move from there.
What is your desire?
So I'm going to start moving over to the left in an attempt to secure the pots. Okay, so Chrom decides to move over to the right. I suspect he was baited by the Sophia or Naga, which is a little unfortunate, but it does...
My turn. With utter certainty. You have my trust.
I do have Wings of Mercy on deck. Would that potentially be something that I could work with?
I see. I will do my best.
I may have to, smite Sophia into position for that Aether Fountain, but then the problem is, how would I get the one on this side? That side looks like it would potentially take 3 turns, including this one.
With utter certainty.
So
My turn. Consider it done.
let's just move Altina over to the left for now. That's not the real trap. If this ends up being the trap, nope.
Yes.
I can simply...
I see. What is your desire?
I suppose back off for now, and we'll see how he approaches. So... Okay.
With utter certainty.
I can snag this Aether for one for the time being.
Yes.
And, Wings of Mercy over. And what turn is it? Turn 4. So it looks like I am going to have to stall for a little longer.
I see.
Okay. I'm in a bit of a precarious position right now, simply because Crom could just come over to the tile over here and immediately threaten these positions behind the mountains. And that's honestly quite troubling.
Let's go.
Crom also does have extra res now that I think about it. So Faye will have essentially 58 attack. Hold on. 49 plus 7, so 56, 5.6 times 2. 11, 67. 67 minus 35. 32 per hit. Okay, so that should be fine. Faye can still do the job, just as intended.
I will do my best.
Either way, it still looks like I have to get Sophia out of there, so I guess this is my best bet, to be honest. Right? Go ahead and end turn and see what I can do from here.
Let's go.
Okay, so
You have my trust.
given that Crom is being distracted by my Sophia right now, I think I might just have to have the units on the left end up taking the pot. We're just playing a game of catch and mouse at this point, to be honest.
Consider it done.
Yeah, not much else to it, so I'm going to go ahead and move the units over, have Sharena snag the pot potentially. Crom should come on down, simply because he can't hit Sophia from above the mountain range. And hopefully he moves as intended. Okay, he decided to break my bolt tower, but now everything has fallen into place. Okay, and so that was the end of the first match. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the second match and then cut there until I've figured out a strategy. Okay, and our second rematch will be against this could be a Japanese player who uses kanji, it could be a Chinese player. I'm not certain about the meaning of their name, so I'm just going to leave that leave that up as a mystery. So we're just going to go ahead and start the rematch, and I'll jump back when we're ready. Okay, and after taking a look at this player's defense map, it looks like I am going to go with my Sophia and Faye setup yet again. I did take a look at my replay before I decided to rematch this person, and they had used this plus 10 Leaf and plus 10 Tiki as well. So I figured that that would be a somewhat interesting match to play and show you guys, but it doesn't seem to be oriented in a way that's particularly dangerous for me. In order to take out this Fae, I could simply have Sophia get some Divine Fang buffs and then snipe her, park on that tile after it's been tested, and eat hits from both the Celica and Leaf. And Thracier would most likely get danced by Azura into attacking my Sophia, so long as I clear this lane of any other allies. Though I could put Eltina on one of those tiles just to bait Thracier as well, though I am fairly excited at the prospect of being able to see my Sophia shoot off a bunch of glimmers, so I think this match may just warrant some combat animations. And I didn't have to think too hard about this, but I do kind of want Altina to be able to be in range of the Eliwood once he comes down, so that's something. If Thracier moves downwards instead of going to the left, she can have a range of 1, 2, 3, so that would enable her to attack this sort of triangle here in addition to the column on the left side. So if I didn't want Altina to take any hits, Altina could move into this blank spot in the back row next to my structures, or to this tile in the far corner in order to be able to reach Ellie with the following turn. Or Altina could be on this tile. So we'll figure out what I want to do with her. Naga and Sharena will definitely want to be hidden away, but in order to test this trap, I would, if it's not Altina who moves over there, then I suppose I would have Faye do the honors, and I probably would need Naga on the left side as well, just so I could give Sophia Divine Fang buffs. So we're just going to go ahead and do that then.
For the children of man.
Looks like this guy has spent a fair amount, despite the fact that they don't try very hard in Aether raids. So let's see here. I could do that, yes. It seems as if it may take 2 turns for me to set up and test this trap, so we'll see how I want to handle that. Perhaps I will get Altina to stay on the right side, though she does end up getting hit by the Flyer School if that's the case, so maybe I should have her just park over here. That might be a safe option. Thracier will have 1, 2, 3, so she can't hit Sharena so long as Sharena just stays put in that far right corner, so we'll see, I guess, what happens. I believe the tile that Faye is on right now is also a safe tile. Yeah, so the tile that Faye is on right now is a safe tile, and this column on the left side is also safe. So I guess I didn't actually crunch the numbers, but is there anything that debuffs my Sophia's attack? Not particularly, no. So Sophia will have ideally 61 attack with Triangle Adept, 6.1 times 4, 24, so that's 85, and then Divine Fang would enable her to get 42 extra, so that would put her at 127, I believe, if my math is right. So 127 minus 45, because she has distant defense. Unfortunately, her Solitary Dream doesn't activate because she's not next to a dragon, and she's not by herself. So 127 minus 45, that's definitely more than enough, so yeah, I guess that this is actually the way to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them set up then. And push up Faye on turn 2 to get that out of the way. And wait one more turn before making my move. Okay. Ooh, does Azura have Wings of Mercy? No, she doesn't. She has Aerobatics. Okay, so Thurseer's actually getting pinned down by my Tactics room, but I don't think that should change anything really, because after I take out Tiki, Celica and Leaf should run into and suicide against my Sophia. Eliwood has no choice but to move straight down, and Thurseer would move down. It doesn't look like Azura will have enough range, even with aerobatics, to attack Sophia, so her main priority should be dancing Thurseer. And once that happens, Thurseer should also run into my Sophia. So I'm just going to go ahead and place Naga back here. And actually, Eliwood moves over here, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That is unfortunate. If I wanted to make this happen, I guess I'd have to move Altina up, but Thurseer should actually lose 1 range because she can only move down 1 space, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that should actually be fine. So go ahead and move down and snipe that Tiki. And we're just going to go ahead and turn... Oh wait, I forgot. Right. So that I can see all the glimmers go off. Okay, so Celica hits me first. Saintly Seraphim reduces my magic bulk. Kill number 1. Sophia didn't even need Glimmer this time around, but, you know, we're just flexing here. Alright, so that's kill number 2, 69, nice. Okay, Eliwood moves down, Thurseer gets danced, attacks Sophia. And Thurseer hits me with a Moonbow. Apologies, it looks like the game is lagging a little bit, but it's not too bad. And there goes number 3. Okay. And so, it looks like we can put an end to this. I guess the end game is for Azura to run into my Fae, so Sophia will just go ahead and snag this pot, which I forgot to do the previous turn. Fae will get the other one, and Altina will take out the Eliwood. And once I change the settings back and press end turn, Azura will suicide into Fae. Okay, and that was match number 2. They had some fairly invested units, so I hope that was somewhat entertaining for you guys. And I will resume recording once I've figured out a strat for my 3rd match of the day. Though I am still debating whether I should rematch this Menmeku who fought me yesterday, or this Marco guy who fought me 3 days ago. On a base kit, Thurseer, and +3 legendary Alm with no S slot. So that seems to be a bit of a red flag. I think I might just go with the Thurseer, to be honest. So I guess we'll we'll fight this Marco guy and call it a day. Hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, and I'll be back. Okay, and so here we are up against Marco, the last match of the day, and at first glance it looked like a team that I could honestly just bring my Sophia and Faye to tank again, but I don't know if I promised, but I did mention that I wanted to try and sort of put my tail to use, and so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. At first glance, this team doesn't seem particularly, I guess, a competent, I suppose you could say. But what could make this difficult for a Gale Force clear is the sort of layout of the traps and buildings, more so than the units themselves, to be honest, and a bunch of them are missing skills, so I suppose this would help balance out the level of difficulty by mismatching to a certain degree the team and I guess the layout of the map in general. So I took a glance at this Minerva and I was just like, okay, Tail 2 could definitely puncture this Minerva and allow the rest of her team to easily sweep, because Minerva's Jargoon Axe, I believe, does inflict special cooldown charge -1, which could be problematic for my Gale Forcers. So if I can eliminate her, then it becomes fairly easy for the Gale Forces to do their job. So what I was thinking was, after Tail 2 basically bombs Minerva, she becomes a Wings of Mercy beacon, then Sharena could Heavy Blade off of Thraseer, though since the splash damage isn't as wide as I would like it to be, Sharena may actually end up not securing the kill, which is a little unfortunate, but I suppose that would actually have to be looked into. I do have to do some calculations here. So speed -5, attack speed +4. Okay, so she has 30 defense, and Sharena should have 68 attack. It's 68 attack. 6.8 times 2 is 13. Let's just say 14 for argument's sake. That would put her down to 54. 54 minus 33? No, 54 minus 30. That's 24, unfortunately. And Thraseer would have 33 HP at that point because of a singular Savage Blow. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to knock out this Thraseer unless this is the real trap and helps me do some damage to her prior to all of this. Honestly, this layout is a lot more suited towards my Kagero setup, but I did want to try to use Tail 2, so this becomes, I suppose, the challenge of the day. Okay. Here's this lone Nyla in the corner, who I'm going to have to save for last. Valoria could outspeed her, but doubling her might be a different scenario altogether. Thraseer will have 40 speed, and then reduce my Valoria's speed by 5, so Valoria would have 43 as opposed to 48. Tercere has 40, so Valoria would be unable to double that Tercere. But she does trigger Flashing Blade, so that could be something I could work with, actually. Tercere will have 30 defense, but Valoria should have 62 attack, which is 32. Oh no, that's actually just 1 damage shy of her HP, which is highly unfortunate. Highly unfortunate. However, I believe her Iffinger only procs if she has an ally within 3 spaces. So if I actually get Sharena to clear out these 3 units, then Tercere should be doubled by Valoria. And that should work out just fine. With that particular setup, it does mean that Sharena will probably need to tank a hit from this Camilla. Maybe 2. Camilla would be at 44 speed, Sharena would be at 41 speed, perhaps, with attack speed bond. Oops, wrong unit. Yeah, 41 speed, so I guess just 1 hit. If Sharena's healthy, that shouldn't be a problem. So, you know what, let's just do it. I have an additional rematch waiting for me in case this doesn't work out. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this and see if I can pull this off with Tail to You. Alright, so I have 2 options for splash damage and getting into Wings of Mercy range. One would be to test this lightning trap on the right, and the other would be to wait for turn 3 and get hit by the bolt tower, since this person was so kind to provide it for me. It doesn't look like this Camilla will be able to jump out and restore, so I don't have to worry about restore shenanigans, thankfully enough. And this Mercedes doesn't have restore either, so the map won't get moving right away. So what I do need to do is actually test these 2 traps at the very least. And then, if I don't need Bolt Tower, or after the Bolt Tower has gone off for the enemy team, I would need to basically snipe this, and then make my move the following turn. So, this is the sort of challenge, I suppose, that my Gale Force team has on this map. It would be turn efficiency, so to speak, being able to break the necessary buildings and test the traps while getting into position for assists. So, in order to do that, it would be prudent for me to have Tail to snipe this Bolt Tower upon confirming what type of trap this is. Though, actually, upon closer inspection, Tail 2 will be hit by this Tactics room, so if I were to have Tail 2 park here to begin with, and then have her smited over to this tile before she moved up to this tile, assuming they were all more or less cleared, then both of these tiles will be sort of tested already, so this actually means that I will need to test all 3 of these tiles, because I do need my smiter to move onto this tile over here. So, to be efficient, I think it would be prudent for me to test these traps on the outside first, and then if this ends up being the real tile, then I can just ignore this one. So, having my Smite Altina on the right side is ideal. If Sharena wants to stay healthy to eat hits from Camilla, then she'll probably want to be outside the Bolt Tower and the Lightning Trap ranges. The ranges of lightning traps. I do need to consider who I would want to face Nyla, though. Oops, let me put that away. While Altina does have bonus stats, there is color disadvantage to think about. Assuming I leave Nyla for last, she shouldn't get any stat buffs, aside from the transformation bonus. So Valoria should be able to take Nyla on, I think. It's 60 attack, that's 38, so that's 22. 22 damage. That may not be enough, though. After Valoria does deal a hit to Nyla, I think she can rely on her teammates to finish the job, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so I guess I should just get started on breaking some stuff then. Yeah, okay. Sharena's just gonna go ahead and sit tight in that corner for now.
Consider it done. With utter certainty.
And let's see here.
Hurry it up.
Move Tail2 up. And
You have my trust.
move Altina onto this tile, which is the real one, so that works out in my favor.
With utter certainty.
Let's see. There is no guarantee that this would actually be a 20 trap or more, however, so I think the safe bet would actually be to wait till turn 4 before I break that Bolt Tower, unfortunately, so I should get Sharena in position to get Tail2 out of there once Tail2 snipes that. So,
That's funny.
I guess I'll just wait until turn 4 now. Okay, but I do need Tail2 to be in range of that Bolt Tower, so let's see here. Okay, we can just go ahead and swap her in and turn. Okay, perfect, so we'll go ahead and break that Bolt Tower and get Tail2 out of there, ideally.
You have my trust.
The setup may actually take longer than I would like it, to be honest.
Yes. With utter certainty. Consider it done.
I suppose what I could do actually is have Repo Altina do the job instead of my Smite Altina. So if I drew back Tail2 from the right, then that could work. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move Tail2 over, Altina over here. And
Let's go. Yes.
Sharena should have no problem
My turn.
triggering Heavy Blade off of Mercedes. However, without hone attack buff, she would be at 64 attack. 64 minus 27, that's 37. Sharona should double though, so that shouldn't be a problem. Mercedes would be at 42 HP. Okay, so yeah, we can go ahead and do that then.
You have my trust. That's funny.
Okay, move Valoria over there.
Consider it done.
This sets him down here, and Sharona drop back. Okay, so go ahead and do that then. Pop the Minerva. So as you could see from that, Tome of Thoron does take a little bit of setup. It could be mitigated somewhat if I had given Tail-2 Quicken Pulse, but so long as you can afford to wait 1 or 2 turns, Tome of Thoron will immediately reduce her special cooldown to, well, till it's ready, basically. So from here, Sharona's going to go ahead and... Oh, wait, I didn't really think that one through, did I? Well, actually... Wings of Mercy ultimate can also contribute. So, Valoria can go ahead and finish the job here. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Valoria has enough attack to take out Camilla, so that's actually a job for Sharona. And Altima can go ahead and take out Breaker Seer. And it doesn't actually matter if I get the pots, but I did calculate earlier that the Nyla wouldn't be able to double my Valoria, and we should be able to finish this the next turn. Okay, so now my Valoria can double the Nyla, and she can actually finish the job. So I guess to flex, we'll just go ahead and grab that last pot and let Valoria do the honors. So it seems that while I did give TL2 a blazing AoE, she can work just as well as Kagero. I suppose it kind of depends on the circumstances. The main reason I wanted to have a secondary setup with ranged unit was so that in the cases where I had to overextend to test traps, if I ever found myself in that scenario, it would be so that TL2 or that secondary unit, should they be in Wings of Mercy and escape route range, they would be able to draw back whichever unit overextended into enemy territory or dangerous territory and be able to retreat. So, yeah, I guess that's sort of my thoughts on that. And TL2 can work out for you if you don't want to build a Kagero, I suppose, or if you wanted to build a Gale Force setup like mine. And that's it for this week. I did lose quite a few points on defense, and also a single match's worth of points because of the recording on the phone and bookmark data not being present fiasco. So another thing I wanted to mention before I ended the video was that going forward, starting this week, I believe, since I am returning to my normal sort of lifestyle and schedule, that I probably won't be posting videos every day, unfortunately. I did sort of do this because I had a little more time on my hands and I was interested, obviously. I still am interested, but I may not have as much time as I would like to sort of dedicate or devote into this hobby, so to speak. And going forward, I will definitely try to at least put out one AR offense and hopefully one AR defense video per week. I may put out more AR offense videos should I find multiple matches that are interesting. So look forward to that, I guess. And yeah, we will hopefully see each other tomorrow, if not sometime during the week, definitely. And take care, guys.